Marhaban and welcome back to Arabic with Dima. Now that you've learned the Arabic letters and the short vowels, let's go deeper into three important marks: Sukun, Shadda, and Tanween. These signs change how words sound and are key to reading fluently. Also, they play a part in some grammatical functions. Let's start with Sukun, which is a small circle like this. And it's it's always written above the letter, just like here, L, M, N, and it. Now, what does Sukun mean? A Sukun is a full stop, which means when I'm pronouncing the letter, I'm not giving it any vowels. So, the vowels are A, U, and E. You already know, we discussed this. These are the short vowels. You can go back to my videos as I have explained the short and long vowels. So as we said, the letter is not having any vowels. Now let's take some examples so we can compare when we have the letter with Sukun and with the Harakat. So R and Ra, Ru and Ri. See the difference? Another one is S. See, there's a full stop with Sukun, whilst with the Harakat it's gonna be Sa, Su, and Si. Now let's talk about the Shadda, which looks like this. Firstly, you have to know that it looks just like the W letter in English, but it's a bit smaller and it's always written above the letter, along with the other Harakat too. So what is Shadda? Shadda is basically a combination of a harf sakin and one of these Harakat, which means we have a Sukun and Fatha, Dhamma or Kasra. For example, Ta. It's basically a combination of two T with Sukun, and because we have Fatha, so it's gonna be Ta. So they are two letters. Remember, that's what the Shadda is. Now Si, if it's a Kasra, it has to be below the Shadda. So it's harf sakin with Sukun, and because it's Kasra, Si. Another example, Fu. Again, we have Fa sakina and Fa with Dhamma, Fu. So that's why we can come up with the fact that it's basically doubling the letter, which means we have two letters combined together. That's what the Shadda is. Which means you have to pronounce the letter with Shadda more strongly. For example, Ta, Ma, Fa. And now let's finally talk about Tanween. Okay, so Tanween is basically a double Fatha, Dhamma or Kasra with a Noon sound. Okay, let's see what that means. First of all, you have to know that we have three types of Tanween, because I told you that it's a double Harakah. So for each one, we're going to have one for Fatha, Dhamma, and Kasra. So for the Fatha, it's called Tanween Fatah. Okay, and as you can see here, it's a double Fatha. And now for the Dhamma, it's going to be Tanween Dhamm. You can write it this way or this way. Again, double Dhamma. And for the Kasra, it's going to be Tanween Kasr. Now let's have an example on each. So Kitaban with Tanween Fatah, the word is basically Kitab, but I added an alif, an extra alif to put the Tanween Fatah on. So in the case of Tanween Fatah, we have to always put an extra alif at the end of the word unless the word ends with ta marbuta, alif maqsura or alif and hamza. For example, here madrasatan, It ends with ta مربوطة, that's why I didn't put an extra alif. Now with tanween ضم كتاب, or you can write it the other way, كتاب, like this, okay? And with tanween كسر كتاب. Now let's see where does the noon sound come from. So as we said here, that with tanween we have to say the noon sound, although we don't write it, okay, at the end of the word as usual. So it's only pronounced, it's not written by any chance, you only say it. And let's see how exactly. So for tanween fatah we say ban. I wrote the noon here, although it's not written. I just want to show you that we have to pronounce it. Bun for tanween ضم. Again, I wrote the noon, but it's not written, it's only pronounced because we have tanween. And bin for tanween kasr. Again, there's no noon. The last thing you have to know about tanween is that it's always written at the end of a word. And remember, for tanween fatah, you have to put an extra alif unless the word ends with ta مربوطة, alif مقصورة, or alif and hamza. Also, you have to know that tanween is used grammatically. Mainly, it is used on indefinite nouns. Thanks a lot for watching, and let me know what you think about this video in the comments, and وداعاً.